I'm here with my buddy Hamilton, and this is Hamilton's Roadmap to Success. We spent most of the session in the house. We certainly went outside, and the video that we shot above was just really on the deck out here. But I just want to basically cover kind of the stuff that we cover, because there's a lot of things inside, come on, that will impact what happens outside. So the Guardian here already had a marker word. I'll have a link to marker words. If you don't have one, you should definitely get one of those, because it makes everything easier for the dog to understand. The Guardian here uses the marker, but hasn't really used it in the house recently, because it's mostly something she uses in certain situations. That can cause him to only think about it when I'm around other dogs or whatever. Just like us, it's nice when your boss or your parent or your partner or your friend recognizes and appreciates things that you do. And so celebrating is a nice way to build his confidence and also to help his Guardian demonstrate acting like a leader. I'm not saying she doesn't, but it's the perception that the dogs have. Sometimes we're just so nice to dogs and we don't have a lot of rules and structure, and they kind of get the impression that they need to guard us or protect us or look out for us. And if I'm in charge of somebody who doesn't listen to me and puts himself in situations I perceive as being dangerous, it's going to cause me a lot of stress and probably make me a little bit shorter tempered with that person. I don't say he's short tempered, but I think that a little bit of that might be going on. So the more that the Guardian can celebrate and use the marker word when he offers desired behaviors, like that eye contact right there, thank you, buddy, the more that he's going to offer those behaviors, and the more he sees that she's paying attention to me, she's listening to me, and she's rewarding me for the things that she actually does like. Now we can also incorporate some rules and structure. A lot of us don't actually have our dogs have anything they need to restrain themselves about. And so if he doesn't practice restraining himself from maybe not going and eating the food that's in the bowl or running out the door or whatever it is, it's hard for him. How can I possibly restrain myself when I see another dog or I'm an emotional outburst, a situation that causes an emotional outburst? So you want to make sure that you're enforcing some rules. Some simple rules that I have is sit before we put the harness or the leash or harness on you. Talk about the harness and leash in a sec. Sit before I pet you. Sit before I invite you to go out the door. Sit before I prepare your food. Sit before I give you permission to eat your food. And when he's eating, again, pork chop or lasagna or ziti or whatever you want to say, just say pork chop, and then he goes over and starts eating his food. You say yes, and then he eats his meal. And eventually, you can have him, when you put the food down, wait a half second, then say pork chop and tap. Next time, wait a full second, then 2 seconds. Like I mentioned, my dog, sometimes I'll forget and he'll wait there for hours. Now, I don't want to get in the habit of doing that, but gradually building up the time is really important. And that's kind of a theme that we went throughout the session, is going in small steps and gradually getting more and more. Yes, that's a good celebrate right there. Thank you, buddy. This looks like a better shot when you're in it. All right, so whether it's teaching your dog to stay or recall or anything, how can you make it a small step? So we went over recall, and so at recall, we start off with everybody's about 7 feet apart. Now, when you start, make sure your arm is like this. So when the dog looks at you, it looks like you're ready. If you're kind of going like this, the dog doesn't look like you're ready, and then they're to the next thing. So before I call the dog, I'm holding my hand out like this. I have a treat on the hand, and then I say, come, or in his case, excuse me, here. Now, if he doesn't come, say his name when he looks at you, say here as you lower your hand. The lower your hand goes, the more he thinks it's for him. So we use the lure to get the dog to do what we want, yes. And so when he comes to you, then you can raise your hand, like I showed you, in kind of an arc over his head. And when he sits down, say yes, and then you would lower your hand and let him have the treat. So we want to create not just a strong recall, but a recall and come to me and sit down, which is a little bit more structure to it. Now, we went over seeding the word, and that's something I would have you guys both do. So just touch a treat to his lips, say the word here while it's against his lips, take a step backwards, and as he follows to you, we're kind of putting the word in context. When he arrives, say yes, and then give him that treat. And then walk around your place, walk left, walk right, walk backwards, so he gets used to following you. Now remember, if he does get off leash, dogs look at what direction your feet are pointing. So if my feet are pointing towards the dog thinks I'm going to be chasing you, and it's going to cause the dog to want to run away. So your dog's off leash and you can't get it to you. What you want to do is get them to look at you, say his name in a high-pitched voice, high-pitched frequencies, or repeating a word 3 or 4 times often gets dogs' attention and gets them a little roused. When he looks at you, turn your feet and head that direction. Dogs like to chase, dogs like to be chased. So if you say his name, he looks at you and immediately turn and run the other way, he'll probably run towards you. And so that's a better way to get him to come to you than chasing after him, because again, chasing after him is going to probably think I'm being chased and I'm going to run away and into traffic. Now make sure you celebrate every time he comes to you. Make sure you say yes and pet him. Now let's say he's lying on the couch here and he gets up and you know he's going to come to you. When he gets up and he takes the first step or two, say the word H, here, and then when he comes to you, yes, and pet him. So if you know he's going to do it anyways, and you can say the word first. Remember, the word, the label should come before all the action. Now in that case, he's already started, so you don't know for sure, you're not a mind reader. But as soon as you know he's coming to you, try to say the cue before that. So every time he starts coming to you, he hears the word here, he comes to you, he gets a reward. So celebrating when he comes is a great way to and cause him to want to come to us. You can also do a little bit of exercise, get a retractable leash. You live in a hallway, you have a long hallway. So have a friend stand in the middle, and then basically one person is on this side of the hallway, one's on the other, and just call him. And he comes to you, and again, if he doesn't come, say his name or make a sound. When he looks at you, lower that hand. When he arrives, raise up his head to get him to sit. And you want to just give him practice at coming to you in all sorts of different situations. If there's a place that like a dog park or whatever, go there when there's no dogs there. Practice at a time you don't need it is a wonderful way to do it. But when we did the recall, we started at 7 feet apart. Then we went to 10 feet, then 15 feet. Eventually somebody's in the other room. So again, always go back to a smaller incarnation of whatever it is. Break one step into 2 steps, 4 steps, 8 steps, whatever you have to do to make it successful for the dog. Gradually work your way back up to the real world thing. Don't worry about doing it all at once. If he fails, that usually means we put him in a situation it's too advanced for him. Let me see. We also talked about manners. Manners is when he nudges you or paws at you. He also demands attention. He barks. So any attention from you when he does those things, even no, is rewarding him. So if he nudges you or whatever, what he's doing is he's saying, go make me those chicken nuggets like we talked about. So instead of giving him any attention or rewarding that, instead tell him to sit or tell him to lie down. Tell him to do it one time. He has 3 seconds to do it. If he does it, you get a reward. If he doesn't do it, nothing happens. That's different than a punishment. And so a lot of us are quick to punish dogs, and that really robs motivation, but it also kind of backfires and causes them to want to do that same thing because you yell at me every time I get in the trash. I do not condone yelling. But it's a very common mistake. People give attention. Whatever your dog is doing right before you give them attention, a pet, or a treat is what you are specifically rewarding them in the dog's brain. So make sure you're mindful of petting the dog or when he does the things you want, and disengaging or ignoring when he does things you don't want. Also remember, for the marker, half of how dogs learn is not hearing the marker word. So if I tell him to sit and he lays down, I don't say anything. That promotes him. Oh, I didn't get it. What else could I do? Okay, paw? Oh, you didn't want paw. Eye contact? You didn't want eye contact. Lay down? Oh, boom, yes, and now I get the treat. So for dogs, a lot of times we are nice. We say sit, yes, and they lie down, and we pet and reward them anyways, even though we ask for something different. We think we're being nice. It is actually confusing for the dog. Yes, you're grumbling. And so if you're asking, I celebrate all the time unless I'm asking for something or training something. If I'm asking for something, training something, the only thing you do is the thing that I'm specifically asking for. The rest of the time, if you come, lay down, drop a ball, whatever it is, I'll reward you for that. Now use the watchword of celebrate to tell each other that you missed an opportunity to celebrate, and use the watchword of manners. Yes. Manners means if he's nudging me or pawing me, come here, buddy, come here. You don't want to do it? Nope. So let's say he was jumped up on me and I was absentmindedly petting him. My partner would come in the room and say manners. What they're saying is, I think you forgot that we don't want to pet the dog for jumping up on us. And so I'd stop, I would say sit, yes. And then I'd tell my partner, actually I asked him to jump up my lap, and I invited him to do that, but I do forget to do that, so thanks for reminding me. So just use it as a watchword. Let me see, what else do we want to talk about? Guess we talked about rules, consent. Remember reaching over his head, you see he ducked his, and his eyes fluttered a little bit. Dogs interpret reaching over the head and touching them on top of the head as dominance. So the best place to start petting a dog is here, here, here. Now you can scratch or pet him anywhere he wants. He prefers getting his butt scratched, scratch his butt. Just avoid, and I'll show you right here. See that little flutter? I don't like that. And so he's very subtle about it, but a lot of people misinterpret. We sat there, so I just petting him. Petting is a good thing. It's only good if he interprets it as good. All right, let me see. What else do we cover? Anything else you want me to cover?
I had some questions, but
Okay, well, we will talk about this. We can talk about it right now if you want. So we have the answers here. We talk about off camera. It's your choice.
We can talk off camera.
Okay, so excellent. All right, well, this is remember when you're all the stuff you're doing inside, you want to get in the habit of doing these things often. For outside, find the time that people are going to be coming by, especially the nemesis dogs. Most people have a regular schedule. So get that recording like I talked about in the video above and practice with the recording first and then get to those nemesis dogs. And every time they come by or they're returning from their walk, you have them lick that peanut butter. That'll make a really big difference. All right, well, this is my buddy Hamilton. Yeah, you're Hamilton. Oh, thank you for the kisses. And this is Hamilton's roadmap to success. Remember, everything you do trains your dog, only sometimes you mean it.